We begin with electioneering news, and the INEC voter registration exercise continues across the country today, with more people turning up at various centers across the country to deal with one challenge or the other, or register for the first time for those who just turned 18. In Anambra State in southeast Nigeria, the process is being carried out alongside voter education to get people registered ahead of the governorship elections coming up in 6 months' time. Imo and Edo states are also a beehive of activity on the registration.
Various electoral applicants in Anambra State seeking fresh registration, collection of permanent voter cards and transfer of registration to other states. The exercise will be on from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day, except on public holidays.
Some of our brothers and sisters that maybe went on a transfer, that will be an opportunity for them to have their voter's card. And for those who were unable to register, maybe because of health challenges, or some of them because of, how the thing happened during the other time, problem with the electronics and all that. So this is an opportunity for them to have their own time and register.
It's even more critical in Anambra State as the governorship election comes up in 6 months.
This exercise is a good one, but it can only work if INEC works harder and ensure that every part of the country, that anybody, all the people that are supposed to register are registered.
The target is to mobilize over 2 million citizens of Anambra State to avoid voter apathy. In Imo State, the same region, INEC gives an assurance to citizens that the exercise will take place across the 27 local government areas where the Commission's offices are located.
It is our hope that the problem associated with election and preceding the election, like this issue of voters register, will be corrected. And technology has formed the basis on which we are perfecting this process. We are deploying technology massively for this continuous voters registration, and it is hoped that at the end of it, we will have credible voters list to lean on for 2019 election.
Meanwhile, 18 local government areas will be covered in Edo State. INEC's Administrative Secretary Oscar Lee Amechi says machineries are in place for a hitch-free process.
Related to this term is to update the voter register to reflect transfers and deaths in accordance with Section 10 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, which requires the Commission.
Participants appeal to INEC to ensure fairness, justice and equity in the distribution of the permanent voter cards to lessen the usual challenges experienced during general elections in the country.
Meanwhile, the election umpire INEC has approached the Nigerian Air Force for adequate security in the voter registration process, especially in the northeast. INEC Chairman Professor Yakubu Mahmood made the request while on a working visit to the headquarters of the Nigerian Air Force in Abuja. He says the Commission has challenges in reaching some local government areas in Borno State owing to security threats. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, gave an assurance that the Nigerian Air Force will provide security for electoral officers in partnership with other security agencies.
With the restoration of peace, so many have returned to their towns and villages. We have a challenge in respect of 5 local government areas. And these local government areas are Damboa, Chibok, Goza, Bama, and Kalabalgi. And the challenge is not in the local government headquarters, but the road leading to the local government headquarters. The roads leading to this local government headquarters, we are very reliably informed, risky in the sense that the insurgents have in some instances mined these routes.
The local governments you talked about, Bama, Dambua, Chibok, Goza, and Kalabalge, are areas that our airplanes fly virtually every day and night, as a matter of fact. So not only will we be able to move your personnel and equipment to this local government headquarters, and I think our presence there on daily basis, day and night, will also confer some kind of security to the personnel while they are conducting their assignment.
The U.S. government says it's impressed with the performance of Nigerian troops in the war against insurgency. The government also acknowledged the huge sacrifice made by members of the families of the troops fighting terrorism in the Northeast. The United States Ambassador to Nigeria, Stuart Symington, in a visit to the headquarters of the Theater Command Operation Lafia Dole in Borno State, encouraged Nigerians to take the lead in loving and caring for their country, and other people will follow suit, as only Nigerians can best fight and defeat the insurgency against the country. This, he said, will be the most effective with the support of all Nigerians. The Theater Commander, Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Lucky Rabo, expressed his appreciation to the United States military for its support and partnership with the Nigerian military in the fight against insurgency in the Northeast. The Army Commander says the military has resolved to ensure that insurgency in that region becomes a thing of the past. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force says it has restructured its formations with the establishment of the Special Operations Command and the Quick Responsible Groups. Now, this move is to ensure effective employment of the Nigerian Air Force to meet emerging security challenges in the southwest zone of the country. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, made this known at the commissioning of accommodation and medical facilities at the Nigerian Air Force Institute of Safety in Osun State.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, arrives at the Nigerian Air Force Institute of Safety in Ikpetu, Ijesha, Osun State. First, he inspects the Guard of Honor. His first visit to the institute will see him commissioning the accommodation and medical facilities put in place to improve the welfare of air officers and their dependents.
The unit is a robust and versatile unit that will enhance prompt and effective deployment of NAV forces to meet any emergency security challenges in the southwest zone of the country. Other units under this command are located in Gusau in Zamfara State, Owerri in Imo State, and Kerang in Plateau State.
The project is expected to enhance the quality of medical care provided for personnel.
The new radiography and laboratory departments, as well as officers' ward with associated equipment, will no doubt enhance the quality of medical care provided to our personnel, their families, and the host community here in Ikpetu, Ijesha.
Senior Air Force personnel comment on the new infrastructure.
It is worthy of note that the developmental change on the base is not limited to infrastructure. Since the inception of the Nigerian Air Force Institute of Safety, it was under the present leadership that the institute eventually commenced the training of safety personnel in its own facility. The acute infrastructural deficiency was addressed headlong, which gave rise to the expansion of the medical center, provision of residential accommodation for the commander, officers, airmen and airwomen, as well as construction of standard armory. For the use of man and to the grace of God.
The Nigerian Air Force Institute of Safety, Ikpetu, Ijesha, is the training arm of the Nigerian Air Force. Since its establishment, the institute has graduated 3 sets of officers from the basic officers course.